She said it's okay?
You might have to hit the gong at the time.
Yeah, but she said it was all right?
Yeah.
Ah, thank you. We may not be perfect, but we do poor work. Okay, you ready to go? So you gonna light it?
She says good.
Good morning. Welcome to the Treasure Coast Unitarian Universal Good morning. Welcome to the Treasure Coast Unitarian Universal Congregation in Stuart, Florida. It's good to see some returnees today. Truman, thank you for coming home. Well, we enjoyed that. Today is September 29th. My name is Kitty Rowell, and I'm your worship associate today. We are a welcoming congregation. We welcome people of all gender, identities, ethnicities, ages, and backgrounds. We are on YouTube too. To be put on our email list or to find out more information about us, go to our website at tcucc.org. Note the email link to request our own line. Please silence your cell phones if you haven't already.
Don't do it, Kitty.
How many prompters do I need? If there are any visitors here, would you be so kind to come to the microphone and invite and introduce yourself, if you're comfortable? You did that. We have lots of announcements, especially Jackie and Jack's concert today at 4 o'clock. I'm going to be there. I hope you'll be there too. Jim Rose has joined me to energize and manage the next round of table conversations. Jim, would you be so kind to share our new ideas for this popular program?
Thank you, Kitty. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Good morning. This is a sign-up week for the groups, and next week is the last one. And so once that happens, then we start to form the groups. We've added something to some little bit of order and organization to the groups for everybody this time. Each group will be provided a small little catalog of topics and some prompt questions, so you can move through those. However, if your group would like to unfold on its own and develop organically, that's also, of course, an option. But we will provide some things for a little bit of focus and context. So if anybody would still like to sign up today, you can raise your hand now. I can give you a form, or you could see me or use the sign up at in the lobby. Okay? Thanks.
Thank you, Jim. It's nice to have a buddy on this journey. I already had others, but they were overwhelmed. Also, join us the first and third Tuesdays at Stewart Veterans Memorial Park downtown at noon for a brown bag lunch. We'll have coffee and cookies today after the service. We're also going to have a congregational meeting, right, Tia, this afternoon. She had to move it up a little bit, so please stay for that after you have your coffee, etc. Our Reverend Bob MacDonald is in the pulpit today, and here's our prelude done by the marvelous Jackie. Y'all come back tonight and hear more of that. It's time to light the chalice. Love is the aspiration, the spirit that moves and inspires this faith that we share. Rightly understood, love can nurture our spirits and transform our world. It is not by chance that you arrived here today. You have been looking for something larger than yourself. Inside of you, there's a yearning, a calling, a hope for more. Desire for place of belonging and caring. Through your struggles, someone nurtured you into being, instilling a belief in a shared purpose, a common yet precious resource that belongs to all of us when we share. So you began seeking a beloved community, a people that does not put fences around love, a community that holds its arms open to possibilities of love, a heart home to nourish your soul and share your gifts. Welcome home. Welcome to worship. Okay. The next hymn is hymn number 29, Joyful, Joyful, Stand If You Wish, and sing 3 verses. So now let us recite our affirmation, speaking the first verse and singing the second one. Love is the spirit of the church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. From all that dwell beneath the skies, let their open their eyes. Let truth and good be sung.
To seek the truth in love and to help one another. Hold that thought. The responsive reading is 444. Kenneth Patton. We will read it responsively. You have to find it in the hymnal because it's not going to be on the wall. This house is for the ingathering of nature and human nature. It is a house of friendships, haven in trouble, an open room for the encouragement of our struggle. It is a house of freedom, guarding the dignity and worth of every person. It offers a platform for the free voice, for declaring, both in times of security and danger, the full and undivided conflict of opinion. It is a house of truth-seeking, where scientists can encourage devotion to their quest, where mystics can abide in a community of searchers. It is a house of art, adorning its celebrations with melodies and handiworks. It is a house of prophecy, outrunning times past and times present in visions of growth and progress. This house is a cradle for our dreams, the workshop of our common endeavor. And now, matters of joy, sorrow, concern, we invite you to share yours, hoping you will realize you are heard and supported. We ask that they be personal and brief, not announcements. I'll just mention to start, I'm sure we've been watching with horror this Helene and the trip to the north that Helene has taken. And I know a number of us have had friends, family in the path of Helene. Kitty says hers got through all right. Truman, your family over there okay? Anybody else with family or?
Yeah, outside Asheville. Yeah, they're doing okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Linda. I tried to contact Nancy Green. Some of you remember Nancy. She moved to Asheville. We actually live next to her, right nearby in our venture to North Carolina. But I haven't heard back from her. I hope she's okay. I can't imagine Nashville being in the shape the news is showing. It's up a mountain. It's up a hill. Well, we know what's at the bottom of hills can suffer what's at the top of hills. So we hope for the best for her and for people. So many deaths, hard not to keep your eye on it on TV. All right, you can all be briefer than I, obviously. Who has something to share of a matter of personal joy or sorrow?
So along those lines, I have friends from Port St. Lucie that have a second home in the Boone, North Carolina area. And I texted them yesterday because, if you're not aware, that area was absolutely ravaged by the storm, very badly. And they usually text or call immediately in response, and I have not heard back from them. So I'm a little concerned for them, and I
hope for the best.
That's it.
Okay, Tia, then Bob.
Hi, I'm Tia Breeding. First, a note of joy, which we all get to hear Jackie and Jack this afternoon at 4. So I'm really looking forward to that. But a note of concern, our friend Deb Harris, who has spent many a hurricane down here in Florida, nevertheless felt the need to drive from Connecticut to Jekyll Island, Georgia, 2 days ago. into and through the hurricane. So to attend a wedding of somebody that was apparently very special. So they're in I guess the wedding went on, but they're in a hotel without electricity or water or anything like that, and they don't have any gas, and they don't know how they're going to get back up. So,
Hope for the best.
She should know better.
Bob, you want to be back there? You want to come up here? Well, this last couple of weeks, I've had a sorrow, some trauma, and then a joy. I have a fairly large home, a two-story, with 2 air conditioners. And the air conditioner upstairs, all air conditioners have a pipe that runs out of them for condensation. Well, this pipe broke in a downstairs bedroom going outside and flooded the downstairs bedroom, and the ceiling was messed up and all kinds of trauma. And I've been dealing with contractors right and left, and I finally got it accomplished, and Humpty Dumpty is back together again. Good. Okay, my joy is I went to an auction last week and got this little piece of joy here. First, I didn't realize what it was, but it's heavier than the Dickens, and I looked on the bottom. Tiffany. And it's Tiffany and Company, so it's about 200 years old, approaching that. It's really heavy. And I paid $32 for it. Okay, Linda.
Hi, I'm Linda Shuey. I just want to give you an update on the migrant family in Indiantown that we've been helping through the UUSC project. And by the way, I have a lot of information on the table in there about what the project is. Anyway, last Sunday, Dan and I spent the whole afternoon celebrating the baptism, Catholic of course, of the baby who will be 2 in December. And I sat next to, there were 18 of us who went out to dinner. And I sat next to the niece Maggie, who's a cousin anyway. It's a big family. And she said that Tia Maria, who is sort of the elder, she's the one who adopted Maria when she was separated from her mom. Tia Maria is having immigration problems. She has been here over 30 years. She's worked and supported herself the entire time. Now she has to keep driving down. She has an immigration attorney. And so I offered to be a sponsor if she needed it. I have no idea what being a sponsor means. So if anyone here knows what it means, I think it means that, you know, she can depend on us. And so anyway, keep good thoughts for Tia Maria. She's wearing an ankle bracelet. Yeah. Yeah, so this is an important election. Thank you.
Thanks for telling us. Yes, Ronnie.
First, I think we should wish somebody that does everything for us, and it's our birthdays, a very happy birthday, Marguerite. It isn't your birthday? Well, why was it on the calendar? Oh, well, okay. Well, it was on a calendar that I saw.
Ronnie is almost never wrong, but
I'm never wrong. Anyhow, I also saw Bill Falk yesterday, and he is doing really well. He's in a wheelchair. He's not going to get out of the wheelchair. His family from California was here, and it was his birthday, so he's doing okay. He's dealing and coping, and he had a nice smile on his face, so he wishes everybody well.
good. Carolyn, you want to?
I'm a stranger to a lot of people. I'm Carolyn Haken. I just want to say I just came back from a wonderful trip to Germany, and we went to around Frankfurt a lot, where my sister-in-law lives. We went to Berlin and we went to Prague, and I highly recommend Prague as a destination. It rained the whole time, and we had a great time. So, and I want to especially think of my granddaughter who went with us, and she was a big help. So it was great to have her with us.
Good to hear. Now, Janet and Jerry Rader are enjoying a new home. Are you dusted off? Are you tired? Did you say to each other all during, we're too old for this? Oh, I remember two other people saying that to each other often. Anybody else? Then we move a stone for people we haven't mentioned out loud but have on our minds and hearts. All of us have somebody like that. Now, I chose this from Dorothy Day for a meditation entitled Commitment in the back of our hymnal. People say, what is the sense of our small effort? They cannot see that we must lay one brick at a time, take one step at a time. A pebble cast into a pond causes ripples that spread in all directions. Each one of our thoughts, words, and deeds is like that. No one has a right to sit down and feel hopeless. There's too much work to do. Dorothy Day. Moments of silence. And now, Spirit of Life 123. We hum a verse, we sing a verse, stand or sit, whichever you want. Here, I hope I know we experience and share joy and need. We have to ask you to share more than that so we can all just continue. And now our morning offering will be received. And I have two volunteers I know. Who might they be? Oh, here they are, of course. Jackie, I have to ask, was that really for us, or were you practicing for this afternoon?
No, I didn't practice.
Anyway, it was wonderful. Thank you. It was delightful.
Thank you. The lovely, I hope. Thank you.
Now, today is what you call a day of rest. After the service, the board goes right to my office. They're not in trouble. They're going to try to take care of some trouble quickly, the roots. And then there's a congregational meeting after that meeting because our board chair is away next week, so it'll be this week after the service. And then at 4 o'clock, I hope you've told some friends and neighbors and bringing them something that is delightful. 4 o'clock, Jackie and Jack. No pizza this time, but there will be things
Well, I could order.
to consume.
I am bringing some of my private libations. And it'll be the honor system. There'll be some good stuff.
All right, that's the end of that announcement. You got the idea. You will go home full in more ways than one. Over the next month, Help Wanted. I want to draw on sources and resources to see us through the maddening political season we find ourselves in. Not only do we have to get to and through Election Day, November 5, but we have to be ready and strong for what follows. Actually, we know what will immediately follow. On November 6th, the day after, Wednesday, we will hold a birthday party here for our board chair. We can't hold it on the 5th, which is her big day, because she works at the election. Isn't that right? The 6th is my birthday. Oh, I thought you said the 5th was. Oh, the 6th is. All right, so we'll have it on the 6th. We'll stay with the 6th. So at 4 p.m. on that corrected birthday, the 6th, it will be an hors d'oeuvre time, and all are invited. She doesn't want any gifts, just one big one. The one which has us on the edge of our seats and our sanity. We can contribute to that gift by doing our civic duty. Enough said. We have a historian, a retired teacher, Jack Cassidy, in our congregation, who has done sermons in the other building, a couple anyway. I'd like him to do one more. American presidents we mustn't forget, and American presidents we just can't remember. Now, we have lionized some with myths of honesty and integrity. We have lionized some because of the American love of celebrity. One I think we can't lionize enough is still living, Jimmy Carter, though I suspect he doesn't want to be at 100. Though immortalized by his post-presidency, God knows he was vilified during his presidency, immortalized by 40 years of volunteer home building with Habitat, which he and his late beloved Rosalind did religiously. One stellar moment to me of his run-up to the election was his April 1976 Playboy interview. Carter, a presidential candidate and a Southern Baptist Sunday school teacher, admitted to having felt lust in his heart. I didn't know any minister who wasn't proud of him. And the reason we had that interview in print, we ministers, was the publisher gave clergy an 80% discount to subscribe. We wanted it for the interviews. I remember a great interview with Saul Alinsky, with Arafat. There were a number of great interviews there. That's why we had to have it. But about the Carter interview, we craved honesty in presidential candidates, and we still do. P.S. Jimmy Carter is, of course, an evangelical Christian most of us deeply respect. Amanpour this week had an interview with another evangelical Christian, Francis Collins, former director of the NIH, doctor, scientist, and evangelical Christian, on to promote his new book, Road to Wisdom. Now, we had read Collins in the early years of our Wednesday book group. In his new book, he said some pretty wow, aha things, I thought. Like he said, we are close to vaccines to prevent cancer, some cancers, at the same time as many distrust vaccines and science. He said we have to gauge how we discern the difference between fact and fiction. We know it's all right to question religion, and we really need to question how much we trust what we read in social media. He started out as an atheist, but decided he could be a person of faith so long as he didn't have to read Genesis, even especially the creation stories, literally. And his suggestion for the toxic polarization in America, now this is Collins, invite someone you totally disagree with to have a glass of wine and civil discussion of differences of opinion. So I'm thinking for that party on the 6th. Let's advertise, wanted, evangelical Christians for civil discussion of politics. Wine or beer, your choice. You know, if we just say wine, someone might say we're elitist. So wine or beer would be okay. Only 10 openings left. Maybe at that party. Let's think about that, just saying. So while we wait and work and hope, we will also need to stir our innards, our depths, that metaphorical combo of mind and heart for the soul and spirit that enables us to hold on and plow forward. And if any of us get too close to the edge, we have to trust we will be held onto with encouraging words. We are in this together. You aren't alone. We have to keep on. That's one thing congregations are and should be able to do for each other, should be good for. When you feel like your tank is close to empty, someone has a little extra fuel to lend, even a smile, well-timed and placed. Today I want to report on my hope for this congregation and my vision, or lack thereof, of where we want to go. So you can be free to add to it. There will be plenty of opportunities for that. I'm calling this Help Wanted because we need to be each other's push and cushion and backup. After a number of collaborations here about what we hope to do, two things seemed clear to me. We have new energies and strengths from new people among us. We want to fan, encourage, and expand upon those energies and strengths. That requires listening to each other well, and of course, welcoming and weighing ideas that aren't our own. I mean, I know I sometimes talk as if I think almost all good ideas come from me, but I do plagiarize and try to give credit on occasion. I remember more than one communication skills workshop where you put people in pairs, and each one in the pair listens to the other for a minute or two. And then the listener in the pair parrots back as much as he or she can remember of what the first one said. If your mind wandered, or you're just waiting for your turn to talk, you learn that you don't listen as well as you would like, or we need you to. It's also clear that we can't do as much as we would like to do. Well-meaning folks have said we need to do more here or there, but we don't have folks to do. At present, we don't have folks to do some of the suggestions that we ought to be doing. I find that disappointing and motivating. We have only so many worker bees. But we do want to do all that we can. So it's good to hear people say and prod, shouldn't we be doing more about this or that? The answer has to be yes, and can you help make that happen? I've had people over my years here come looking for a UU congregation and wanting one thing, a certain thing they loved in their North Church. That happened with a couple that found us soon after COVID ended, or we had hoped it ended, and we reopened here. They came a couple times, and I visited them in their home. They were looking for an activity here that meant a lot to them in their prior church home. It was something like gathering our rummage and offering that to needy people in the area, like advertising and opening a thrift shop one day a week. They told me they got to know their co-workers in that useful service, and they were getting the idea in their new neighborhood they wouldn't be getting to know their neighbors all that well, I guess from things on the cars and placards and things like that. I sadly had to say, we all have closets with rummage, but I don't think we have people to do that, nor a designated spot that can be called our thrift shop. Nor did I think we were centrally located for such. But you know, if you go up and down Central Parkway and see all that new growth, we may be more centrally located than we ever were very soon. So anyhow, I had to say I didn't think we could do that anytime soon. And they let me know after my visit they would keep searching. And they haven't been back. We have a number of community thrift stores. How many here have volunteered? I know Bud has. How many have volunteered at a thrift store? Yeah, sure. I'm just curious, how many of you have worked at a MacDonald's? And can you prove it? Who would lie about that and say they did if they didn't? Mentioning that encounter with a couple that didn't come back reminded me of another that worked out a little better, I thought. A pre-retirement couple from upstate New York came. They were scouting UU in Florida. I invited them to meet for coffee and Q&A, and they said, "How about this afternoon? We're going home tomorrow." So we met. And while I thought we might not compare well to Rochester, New York's UU, they were pretty happy to find UU in Stewart at all. UU meant to them, they said, kindred spirits. So they were hoping we were here and were glad. And now I'll be glad to see them again when they retire. I hope, we can hope. Kindred spirits, that's what most people who find us tell us they're looking for. Kindred spirits, people who don't judge, people who encourage questioning, people who think thinking is more important than things we can repeat and not think about. I'm feeling like we want to be asking what more can we be doing for our own beloved community and for our larger community. I get that sense partly from the success of our table conversations, which are starting their second season and open to new table gatherers. These small social groupings have helped us with an issue all congregations face, connecting new and not so new people. Now don't stop and think, is he calling us not so new? You know. Because we have some new energies and experiences among us, I want us to gather and probe together what more can we be doing that enriches our community of kindred spirits, kindred seekers and searchers for what gives our lives value and nurture where we need it, and reminds the larger community of vitamins they may be missing. Diversity, democracy, voting, affirmation of science, interconnectedness. This is a digression, but as I look at those horrible signs of the waters flooding so much of the country, I can't help but think of the life that was under that, animal life. Awful. So my suggestion to work on things here, a Saturday working breakfast. Even calling it continental will be stretching the meaning of breakfast. I'm sure as we get closer to it and you tell me you're coming, I'll tell you, have a little bit before you come. We've had to rework the date so key people could be here. So now it will be at 10 o'clock on November 2nd. Leaders Jim and Kitty will put us to brainstorming what we can be doing here more than we are. Because I began as a Trinitarian, I think 3. Let's identify 3 areas to work on, to work together on. We'll be giving you cards, like index cards, to fill in with your ideas. If you find the times we're in, the season we're in, as unsettling and maddening as I do. And I have to have a conversation with myself. Bob, these people aren't coming to church to be unsettled and maddened. You do know that. And you do know that one of the best definitions of ministry is, what is that definition from Friedman? Non-anxious presence. Truman, does that ring a bell? Non-anxious presence. I'll get back to that. I promise I will. I'll get back to that. We'll all get on to that. I hope you'll agree we have to look within ourselves and we have to look beyond ourselves. And we want to do those two things better. Look within ourselves, look beyond ourselves. We can help each other do both. Help wanted. The hymn is 170. Whatever the bulletin says, the hymn is 170. It is 6 verses. That may seem like a lot of verses to sing, but they go quickly, and they're all important components of us, UUs. 170. Sorry, okay. I'll have plenty of time to correct that. be seated. Now, Kitty took my sermon title seriously and came up and told me I got the names wrong on these guys who are becoming members next week. I hope they still are, Jay and Jim. Now, Jay, you're the one doing, yes, with Kitty. Jim is being deployed to other activity. They're joining next week because they've been coming here for some time, and you probably thought, I thought, they look an awful lot alike. So you had to start talking to them separately and realize they really don't, but they are a pair.
My mom still mixes this up sometimes. Don't feel bad.
Where was I? The closing words as Kitty extinguishes.
I have a few thank yous.
You have what?
A few thank yous that I forgot.
You have thank yous you forgot.
I forgot, yes.
They-
We're quite a pair, aren't we?
I'll talk for a minute, and then you tell me everything I just said back to you, okay? That's a little exercise, people. No, you've done that,
That
haven't you?
sounds like my doctor.
All right, thank whom you must.
Okay, well, first of all, this congregation can never thank enough Janet Grove. I came here last year. I've been in a lot of organizations and I've done a lot of things, but I've never seen anybody do as much as she does. And she and Bob have kept this church together since the pandemic. And we will never be able to thank her.
Now, is there anybody else you want to thank briefly?
Okay. Today I would thank you. I forgot to thank the other folks. Jackie Robbins, our shallot. She's the one of the reasons I joined. Marguerite Gregory, Joanne Leon, and Betty O'Brien in the kitchen. Karina Poloni and Rachel Valentino helping with the technology. Janet Grote again, and Jackie Buckley at the greeting desk. So I just wanted to make sure, and it is Jay Lucas and Jim Long.
Jim Rose.
Jay Lucas and Jim Rose. I'm trying, I'm really trying.
Who said we need help? Okay, these are closing words, I promise. And Kitty is going to extinguish that. Chalice. These are from John Brigham in the back of the hymnal. Go your ways, knowing not the answers to all things, but seeking always the answer to one more thing than you know. John Brigham. Not as much as I did.
No, you're perfect.